Hey, Paul here. Today's rant is about how to treat your mother. Does apply to both parents, but I wanted the title to highlight mothers. So, how do you treat your parents? I know relationships can be complicated, especially family ones. Ours is no different. So, do you respect your parents? And do you reflect on how you treat people? In my opinion, not everyone does, but let's dive into the topic. So, how should you treat your parents? From the Bible, God gives us clear direction on how to treat our parents. It's even one of the commandments, and literally the first one that gives promises if you keep it. So, this is from Exodus 20:12, King James Version. Honour thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. So we're supposed to honour our parents, but what does honour mean? So honour means to give proper weight for their position and their role in the family structure that God's established. It's not earned through perfect behaviour. You don't have to earn honour in this case, but it means to listen to their guidance, be kind to them, show appreciation to care for them and care for them in old age. And also to act in ways that reflect positively on them, not shameful ways, which sounds easy enough, I suppose. So, as I said before, it's the first commandment with a promise that your days may be long on this land, and kind of implies the opposite if you don't. But that doesn't mean that you have to sort of stay with them or necessarily follow those guidelines if your parents are abusive. So they have requirements too from the Bible. So to not provoke or discourage your children, to bring them up with discipline and training, and teach them in God's ways. So both parties have responsibilities in this parent-child relationship as given to us by God, and it enhances the family structure. And basically the parents look after the children when they're young. There's a period when both parents and child are adults, supposedly, most of them. And then if your parents reach old age, then look after them, make sure they're okay, care for them, and help them out. So it's kind of like a full circle. So how would I rate myself on respecting my parents? Generally, I was respectful, not probably so much in my early adult years, but as I grew older, I came to appreciate my parents, especially my mother, and how much support she gave me, and someone to talk to when things were tough, and was always there when I needed him. Dad was to some extent too, but definitely Mum was more the nurturing kind and more involved. I do remember one occasion when I was overly harsh to my mother. We had a argument and I felt disrespected and I went too far, and Mum got quite upset, and from that day forward I realised that I was not doing my best and tried to act in a lot better way from then on, which I stuck to. So how do we fare now as parents of three youngish adults? Don't feel that we're getting respect majorly from one of our children, somewhat from another. Our eldest is respectful, is caring, shows interest. But the other two, it's the way they talk to us, the impossible standards and sometimes double standards we're held up to, the no contact for lengthy periods of time unless we follow them up, which is usually my wife, but you know, that's not the point. And never really asking how we're going or things like that. So, and what was our parenting style when they were young? I mean, we were involved in pretty much everything they did, all their schooling, sporting stuff, extracurricular activities. We were highly involved in those. So, and they got a lot of encouragement. So, I don't know, seems to have not sunk in or something, or maybe it's the way society's changed and there is a lot of importance put on how children feel, a lot more than when we were kids, and sort of the me selfishness that kids kind of grow up with social media or however that comes about. But yeah, not that impressed with how things are going, and it has had a big effect, especially on my wife. And although it's anecdotal, the impact that it has had, I think most parents in this situation would struggle somewhat. I think mothers struggle a lot more than fathers do. Fathers are a bit more standoffish, in my opinion. I mean, it's a generalization. Obviously, there's a spectrum somewhat, but yeah, with my wife's history of abandonment, the way our kids are treating us greatly magnifies the lack of self-worth brought about by continual abandonment, the unworthiness, being invisible, and there's grief involved if it's full-on estrangement or nastiness involved, and it's kind of grief without the actual loss. So the person is still around, but not in your life, even if it's temporary. So that's had a big impact. But to deal with it, I think you need to be forgiving, and it's not for them, it's for you. So, because negative thoughts are like a cancer and eat away at you. So if you can at least to yourself forgive the person, it be better for you in the long run. And it's not necessarily forgetting what the person's done, but it's forgiving and being somewhat at peace internally, which is really hard to do, I know. And yeah, if it's too bad, get some professional help and look for a loving community like a church or something like that that has people that are supportive and can help out, or at least for a time take your mind off things. So hopefully you and your family are getting along. If not, you're not the only one. If that helps at all, I doubt it very much, but good luck with it all. And please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts. Thank you. Bye.